Are you ready? Sorry. Okay. Okay, so we'll call the meeting to order for Tuesday, July 8th, 2025. As we gather, we are reminded that the town of Bonnyville is situated on Treaty 6 land that is steeped in rich Indigenous history and is the traditional homeland and home to First Nation and Métis people today. We respect the histories, languages, and cultures of First Nation, Métis, and all First People of Canada whose presence continues to enrich our community. Before us, council, we have an agenda, a new agenda, which has a walk-on item under in camera. If you all have that agenda. Okay, we'll look for a motion to approve the amended agenda. Councilor Blanchette,
I'll move adoption of the agenda as amended, Madam Mayor.
all in favor? Carried. Next, we have the meeting minutes from June 24th, 2025. Are there any additions, deletions, changes to these meeting minutes? Okay, seeing none, we'll look for a motion to approve. Councillor McAvoy,
I will move adoption of the June 24th, 2025 council minutes
thank you.
As-
All in,
as presented.
as presented, thank you. All in favor? Carried. All right, first item up, land use bylaw amendment.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The town of Bonnyville has been collaborating with the developer who intends to construct semi-detached dwellings on the properties located at 3603, 3605, 3607, 3609, 3611, 3613, and 3615, and 3617 on 53rd Avenue. Currently, these properties are zoned as an R2 single-family small lot residential where semi-detached dwellings are neither permitted nor discretionary. To facilitate the construction of these semi-detached dwellings, a rezoning of at least an R3 medium-density residential district as per the land use bylaw 1447-16 is required. Administration is seeking a decision for first reading on the bylaw 1603-25 to amend the land use bylaw 1447-16 for the rezoning of the lands from R2 single-family small lot to R3 medium-density residential. We have sent out adjacent landowner notifications. We received one letter so far as a feedback. Their concerns were around higher density on these lots. The units they plan to build are, it's going to be one single-family dwelling per lot, but they're meeting on the property line. So it's a side-by-side, semi-detached, and the property line is the divider of the homes. So we're not increasing the density of any dwellings in that area. The desired outcome would be that council approve for the first reading of the amending bylaw 1603-25 to initiate the rezoning process. It's a recommendation that council provide first reading of the land use bylaw amendment 1603-25 and direct administration to advertise this and set the public hearing date for August 26, 2025.
Okay, thank you, Joel. Are there any questions for administration on this request? Councillor Kushner?
Thanks, Madam Mayor. So I'm a little confused through the administration. So if we're not increasing the amount of housing because they're on their own lots,
Yes?
why would we have to change the land use bylaw?
They wanted, these homes that they want to build are a single level, there's no basements. So they wanted to maximize the floor space that they can achieve on the lot without having any setbacks. So by going to an R3 zone where they can do the semi-detached with the party wall on the property line, they don't lose that 5 feet on that one side of the lot.
Okay, so it's just more for for square footage, the actual
Yes,
square footage of the above ground building. Okay, all right. Okay, and we've got what it's going to look like and all that kind of stuff.
I do have one of the elevations of what it's going to look like, yes.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Councillor McAvoy?
Just through to staff, in that subdivision, are there any architectural controls?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Not that you're aware of?
I know Bovista does have some architectural controls, but not in Eastgate.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Counselor Blanchett?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Through to administration, for semi-detached dwellings, parking doesn't change, still 2 parking stalls per unit?
That is correct.
Excellent, thank you.
Any other questions? Counselor Langridge?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and through to administration. Just a little bit of unfamiliarity with the area, but are these lots serviced by back alleys?
Yes, there are back lanes on these lots.
Okay, and I mean, if we were to pass first reading tonight, now, if we were to rezone this, so we're looking to rezone it to medium density, would we be opening that up for potential, that whole area to be rezoned now as R2 or R3?
I would have to talk to the developer, see what their plans are.
And the only reason I ask, and of course, in regards to the one letter that we received from the homeowner, we've seen in the past that some of our new developments, I mean, we haven't seen new developments in our area for a long time, but we have seen, for example, in the Bow Vista, we've had, very, very nice single-family dwellings, and then a block over, we have fourplexes loaded in the street with no back alley. So I just want to make sure going forward that we don't make some of those mistakes that some of the previous developers and that have done. So as long as, it's serviced by back alleys and we're controlling that it's going to be large duplexes over 2 lots, I just don't want us to, approve the rezoning of it, and then we're opening it up to, rows and rows of fourplexes and townhouses and whatnot without having the proper infrastructure in place. So just my comment.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Oh, sorry. I'll let.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. I would also like to comment too that the request would have to be on a case-by-case basis moving forward. So if there were any additional requirements to change the land use bylaw or the amendments in the area structure plan as well, those would still be brought forward to council on a case-by-case situation, same as what's happening tonight with this. So it would be one of those conversations that would still be had at this table in the future if there were plans or potentials for additional changes to that area as well.
Sorry. Yeah, Madam Mayor, through to council language. Ultimately, echoing the CAO's comments is that the higher density buildings that are of concern are discretionary use in the R3 areas. So any and all requests would have to come through council. So council ultimately has control over any of the higher density stuff.
Thank you. Counselor Sharoon?
Yeah, just a quick question through it to administration. Do these housing units, do they have, you've seen the conceptual drawings, are there garages in the front or are they in the back or?
No garages are in the front.
Okay, so that's,
They are setting the dwellings back far enough so that somebody could buy a big F-150 super cab extended box and it not even come to the street. So they want to make sure when everybody's parking that they're parking far enough to.
perfect, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? I know for myself, I think we have an area development plan that clearly lays out our long-term vision. And I think just in my perspective, if we're going to start to rezoning and contravening what we've already approved, it's not something that I personally would like to see us do. We've talked about, I know we have these incentives and we want to see new houses, but at the same time, I think there's a vision set out, and for me, I'd like to stick to that. And if this area development plan in this area doesn't include high density homes, then I wouldn't be in favor of this rezoning. But that's just me. Councillor McAvoy?
I think we've all had our opportunity to say our piece at this point. I will move first reading so that it goes public and we can listen to the feedback from the community.
Okay, thank you. Any questions on the motion? Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. And I lost my agenda. My apologies. There we go. Okay. Municipal library financial statements.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Bonnyville Municipal Library financial statements are presented to the town for information purposes and to aid in reviewing the annual library contribution from both the town and the MD of Bonnyville for operating and capital budget purposes. The library is required to complete their financial reporting in accordance with the Libraries Act. Attached are the 2024 financial statements for the library, which were prepared by Tay and Company Professional Corporation. The statement of revenues and expenditures for the year ending December 31st, 2024 shows that the library closed the year with a deficit of $15,057. This includes amortization of $5,643, resulting in an overall actual deficit of $9,414. We are recommending that council accept the Bonnyville Library Board's financial statements as presented.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for administration? Councillor Sharoon?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. Through to administration, I see on the revenues on page 22 that we have fines in the amount of $1,748. I thought we got rid of the fines years ago, and I remember there was some just GL distribution, but we do have book sales there as well, so I don't know what the fines are about.
I would have to ask the library manager regarding the fines.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions for administration? I have a quick question. It's listed here, other grants. Do we know what source of grants those were? They just had a decrease this year, so I was just curious.
That would be another question I would have to defer right to the library manager unless one of the board members are aware.
I can jump in on that, Madam Mayor. So we received multiple grants when we were working with Elizabeth Settlement to start up a library there. So that's why they were a little bit higher. And because we started up the library in 2023 and we did not receive the grant as they were up and running for 2024. So that is some of the grants as well. We didn't get a Canada Works grant as well last year. So that would be the difference in some of the grant funding from year to year.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions on these financial statements? No? All right. Looking for direction. Councillor Blanchett?
I will move that council accept the Bonnyville Library Board's financial statements as presented.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Okay, under business, approval of additional funds for the 4-H purchase. Who's looking after this one?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The 2025 operating budget included $6,000 for the purchase of a steer at the 4-H sale, with the meat being donated to nonprofit organizations. Councillor Kushner, Sharoon, and McAvoy attended the 2025 4-H event and purchased the animal at a cost of $7,700, and the cost to cut and wrap the meat for donations was $1,296 for a total cost of $8,996. As this amount exceeds the budgeted amount, a motion is required to approve the remaining amount of $2,996. A total of 6 not-for-profit organizations were beneficiaries of the meat donations this year, and they included Camp St. Louis, the Bonnyville Outreach School, Kivski High, Bonnie Lodge, the Native Rehabilitation Center, and Stepping Stones. Administration is recommending that council approve the additional cost in the amount of $2,996 for the purchase of a steer from the 2025 4-H sale.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any questions for administration on this request? Comments? No? Okay, all right. We are looking for a motion, please. Councillor Sharoon?
If there's no other comments, I will move that we approve the additional costs in the amount of $29.96 for the purchase of a steer from the 2025 4-H sale.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? That's carried. Okay, next, cancellation of the July 15th GNP meeting.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just as we move forward here into the summer season, this time there is no additional governance and priorities committee items that would be brought forward to council at this time or the committee. So we felt that would be prudent to cancel the meeting in time to not waste council's time.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? No, all right, we're looking for a motion then to cancel that meeting. Councillor Johnson?
I'll make that motion to cancel the July 15th, 2025 Governance and Priorities Committee meeting.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Committee reports already. We'll start with Councillor Kushner, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. June 25th, I had a regularly scheduled LICA meeting. Also on the 25th, I went to the Alberta Hub AGM in Vermilion. Angus Watt was speaking there. It was very well attended, and it was definitely worthwhile to go on that one. June 30th, we had trouble, and we distributed trouble everywhere. So that was our steer that we bought. It went to the 6 groups that administration had talked about. Every one of them were so thankful that we did that. It was heartwarming, actually, to see them and saying this is going to go such a long way. So it was. I really enjoyed going and doing that. July 1st, busy museum pancake breakfast, then museum Canada Day opening ceremonies, Canada Day parade, and then went to Canada Day in the park. I want to thank the committee, all the people who helped out. Public Works were fantastic. They were taking garbage away. They were out there till midnight putting things away, and then the next day as well. And then one special person I'd like to thank is Doreen Kushner for being there and doing such a great job. And on July 5th, I went to the Filipino party. And that's it for me.
Mine is going to be quite short. On the 30th of June, I spread trouble around with Councillor Kushner and Councillor Sharoon. July 1st, the Canada Day pancake breakfast, the opening ceremonies parade, and party in the park. And on July 5th, I attended the funeral of former Councillor Ted Terzansky, and the family wished to express their gratitude for the honor of lowering the flags at Town Hall. That's it.
Okay, June 26th, Bonnyville District FCSS Board meeting, July 1st, the Canada Day festivities, and then July 5th, the Lakeland Filipino Heritage celebrations. And that's all for me.
Okay, June 25th, I attended the Beaver River Waste Management meeting where we passed a bylaw. We're buying 2 new trailers. One of the trailers that we bought last year is not working properly, so that's out of commission. That's going to get sent back to get fixed up, but those were the big items at that meeting. June 26th, attended the Summer Leaders Caucus for AB Munis. June 30th, CAO Winfley and I attended the Indian Métis Rehab Center AGM. They were quite thankful that we were there. This is the first time that they had an invitation to the surrounding municipalities, actually. So I think it was good for us to have presence there. July 1st, the Canada Day ceremonies. I'd echo Councillor Kushner's comments. A large full day event like that doesn't get pulled off without all the background work that the staff put into it. So thank you so much to all of them. And then July 7th, also with CAO Winfley, we had a meeting with the MD of Bonnyville, Reeve, and CAO just to continue our relationship with them. So that was a really great meeting. July 8th, today also attended a meeting for a housing project initiative here in town. So thank you.
Thank you. On the 26th of June, I also attended the Alberta Muni Summers Leaders Caucus with Madam Mayor. On the 30th, just want to add one thing. When we were delivering trouble, not only the appreciation that was showed, but every group, the nonprofit groups that we went to see, were more than thankful because of all the cutbacks that they are receiving in their funding. So this couldn't have come at a more opportune time for all of them. So thank you for them. And like you said, it was very heartfelt to hear their story. July 1st, Canada Day celebrations. And on the 5th, I attended the Filipino Heritage Day celebration at the C2 here in Bonnyville.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Pretty short and sweet as we head into our summer break. Just July 1st, the Canada Day festivities. Big shout out to the committee and all of administration for pulling it off. I've heard nothing but good feedback from the public on the event, so that's always a great sign that we're doing great work here. And then on the 3rd, I attended a webinar for the police funding model review with the government of Alberta. And that is all for me.
All right, June 26th, I attended the FCSS meeting, and then I shot over to just quickly check out the Highway 28 open house. June 30th, I attended the staff appreciation barbecue at the C2. And then, of course, July 1st was Canada Day, so took part in the breakfast museum opening ceremonies, parade party in the park. I just want to expand a little bit further. Thank you to all of the staff. I think we had representatives from every department there, out volunteering, from the pool, FCSS, FRN, administration, public works. They did an amazing job. And of course, our quarterback and planner / superwoman, Doreen, thank you very much. So it was a great day. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you. All right, next up, we have the 2026 budget timeline. I don't know if there's anything you wanted to speak on that. It's just for our information on the meetings coming up.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, so basically, we just wanted to give council a heads up on the 2026 budget timeline starting as soon as possible here, just to make you aware of the timeframes. And then also with the elections in the middle, there was a bit of an extended period of time given between the first draft and the second draft. So council had an opportunity to learn the budget itself as they come in as elected officials. And then once we get into December, then the second draft would be presented to council for final approval and hopefully passed by the 31st of December. So
Good for information. Thank you very much. Okay, next, we have our business licensing report from April to June 2025. I don't know if there's any questions. This is just for information. And then our strategic plan update for the second quarter of 2025. Any questions? No, just for information. All right, then we do have a proclamation, whereas the mission of Life Saving Society Canada is to prevent drowning throughout this great country, and even one drowning in Alberta is one too many. Now, therefore, be it resolved, we do hereby proclaim July 20th to 26th, 2025 National Drowning Prevention Week in the town of Bonnyville, and do commend its thoughtful recognition to all citizens of our town. Next, the community organization funding up to July 2nd. And any questions for administration at this time? Councillor Langridge.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And just through to administration, Councillor Johnson's committee report sparked my memory. In regards to our progress on anything, have we heard anything from Alberta Transportation as far as the Highway 28 redevelopment for timelines or anything at this point?
thank you, Madam Mayor. And to answer the question, Councillor, at this time, I haven't received an email back. I did email them the day after the open house to set up a meeting and engagement to discuss it further. The tentative project timeline, from my understanding, is the tendering will be considered for mid-July to end of July. Tender award would be between end of August, mid-September, and project implementation's unknown at this time.
Okay, thank you. There are no other questions. We do have an item in camera. I will get a motion to move into camera. Councillor Kushner, please.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. I will move that we move into in camera.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried.